Welcome to another NASCAR talk. I'm Nino, the greatest, the undisputed, the champ. You already know with my dog Matt. What's going on, bro? I know you're sad. I'm sad. Larson fans are sad, but we'll get to it in a minute.
Yeah, we'll get to it in a minute, all right. We might need more than just a minute. Oh,
Yeah, man. Brutal
what a
way to
day.
go out. Unfortunately, it is what it is.
Yep.
But the trucks, Christian Eckes locked himself in. Bro, I thought we were gonna have another fight this Sunday too. This weekend was just nothing but fights going on, bro.
Yes, it was. I'm actually, since we're on the truck series, I'm pulling for Enfinger. I'm not even gonna lie. I hope Enfinger gets his title and whatever. I forget who was it that got into it. It was Eckes and was it Rhodes?
Eckes, Heim, Knight, and Majeski are the other three that made it in.
Okay. I thought Rhodes was in there for some reason. Well, apparently
No,
not.
he got eliminated in the first round, unfortunately.
Oh, Thor Sport. They're killing me now. They're killing me.
Yeah, but you'll be insane though if Majeski and wins the damn title because then you have everybody on that damn team that has a title besides Jake
Oh my
Garcia.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Trucks has just been insane. It's been crazy. Xfinity, I actually got to watch Xfinity this week. It was actually on Hulu. I was
Yep. Hey,
surprised.
there you go.
I watched the tail end of Xfinity and I don't know what happened between Custer and oh gosh, what was that guy? I can't
Chandler
remember.
Smith.
Chandler Smith, because they said something happened in Kansas. And I think it was Chandler gave him the bumper and then Cole tried to give him the bumper back and he like horribly failed towards the end.
Yep.
Horribly
But I
failed.
just feel like everybody's been picking a fight at Custer this season. It's not the first time that someone tried to pick a fight at Custer, bro. It's not the
Oh
first time
yeah.
this season. It happened at Charlotte with Austin Hill. So you already know
Hmm.
everybody's just targeting this man. I don't know why, but you know.
It's that mustache, bro. That mustache is freaking me out. I'd pick a fight with him.
The hair
But
club.
oh my gosh. And it just the potential that Xfinity has. I just want to talk about. Did you see how many stickers the 20 car has from the wins it had this year? Like, what the heck? And that's the part-time car, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the all-star
Oh,
car.
oh my gosh. That is insane to me. And I even also saw that Jesse Love and Austin Hill came back into it towards the end as well. They
Yeah.
started doing real good. So I'm going to go with Austin Hill for my pick for Xfinity.
Uh I'm gonna have to do it again. I'm gonna go with my repeater, man. I'm gonna have to go with a repeat with this one. I'm going with Cole Custer, man.
You
I'm
have to
happy
because you've
AJ's
met him.
there. I'm
Oh
happy
yeah.
AJ's there, though. That's my second choice,
Hmm.
AJ.
Hmm. I mean, AJ's been doing real good, but I think going back and forth from the Cup car to the Xfinity car here in recent years isn't doing too well for him, I feel like, because he's doing like when he's in an Xfinity car running full time, he's not doing as good as he is part time in the Cup Series.
Yep.
Vice versa, when he's part time in Xfinity, he's doing amazing, but he's not doing too hot in the Cup Series in the Cup car.
I never understood that. But yeah, I'm like, bro, it's like, bro, just pick a series at this point.
Oh my gosh, like
Nah, I just feel
literally,
like calling basically they don't know what they're doing. I with that in that department, like with AJ specifically.
mhm.
But they're going into next year, though. They're gonna have like they're going back to fielding three cars full time.
Okay.
Um, they're gonna have Ekes going in, and they're gonna have Daniel Dye as well. So a lot of kids are graduating from truck to Xfinity next season. That's what I meant. Next season will be crazy for Xfinity.
Yeah, and that's another thing you just brought up. There's so many kids that are going up from trucks, but then technically they're kind of going to be like the kids that were held back with all these young guys that are jumping past the trucks to hop into the Xfinity cars.
Yep.
Next year is going to be insane. Absolutely insane. I can't wait.
Taylor, who was it? Taylor Gray? Yeah, Tyler Gray's also moving up. But Taylor Gray was the one that was like trying to start something with Christian Eckes because Eckes like he gave like the push to the show. I mean, he didn't
Mm,
have to win the race, but again, you want to win the race to get in. So he did what he had to do. I just feel like
mm.
Taylor Gray was in the wrong, and then he wanted to pick a fight. He literally came in like trying to go in as he's celebrating the win, like trying to join them there, like to start something. And the same thing
Oh,
happened to
yeah.
Chandler Smith. Like he literally slapped Cole Custer for no reason. Like, come on, bro.
Slap, that was closed fist, sir. It might have been slow, but I saw the closed fist. I thought literally that Cole Custer was going to RKO out of nowhere. I literally thought that WWE experience here lately, hey, he should have the power of Stone Cold.
That's what I'm saying.
Stone
Stone
Cold
Cold.
Custer.
Yup. But man, bro, like yeah, we in the champions. Like basically three Chevys and a Ford in the championship Ford. None
That's
of the JGR cars made it. But I mean, in the owners championship, obviously you have Eric Alvarola that made it in
mhm.
for them. Honestly,
Oh
man,
yeah.
I feel like Alvarola is having a great time of his life driving again. Even if he doesn't
Oh
go
yeah.
next year full time, which I don't think he's gonna go full time. I think he's happy on Saturdays, just part timing. I guess you can say that.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, we'll see what happens, bro. I mean,
And
Corey Hines deserves a seat next season, bro. If he goes back to Tricon, it sucks. Same thing with Chandler Smith. He might not even have a
mhm.
ride for next year.
There's so many things that's going on. I think we should have open up the Xfinity series to a lot more people to bring more people in. But like I'm telling you right now, like we talked about it before, that goes into the problem with the Cup series only having 36 charters,
That's why
which
Junior
to
doesn't want to go to Cup. I'm glad. Honestly, I'm glad Junior doesn't want to go to Cup. I don't blame him.
yeah, I was reading Pockrass was talking about the NASCAR attorneys today for the 2311 thing.
Yep.
NASCAR attorney said, "Well, why don't you go invest your money in this sport or that sport or hell, even buy an NBA team?" And referring to, Jordan actually owned one at one point but sold it to come into our sport. But then the team's attorney said, "That's like telling and there's not enough practice for us in this profession and that we're in, and that's just like telling us to tell our drivers to go play in the NBA."
Yeah.
I was like,
Yeah.
that makes zero sense on what NASCAR was trying to do. And
I think
I
NASA's
don't,
gonna lose this case. They're gonna lose that case. I don't
oh,
think they're
yeah.
gonna win that case.
Yeah. And I didn't hear anything else on what I was sending you earlier, you guys earlier about the whole JG or Joe Gibbs going into Mooresville, Huntersville courthouse with a lawsuit. I didn't see anything else on that. I think that's just somebody making something up, but I was like, that would not be healthy for the sport. If there was another lawsuit for some reason, I think it wouldn't be healthy for the sport just due to the fact NASCAR owns a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the tracks. And if it kills NASCAR where they have to get out, they would take a year for one of these oval circuits to have enough popularity to build it to put it on mainstream TV as
Mm-hmm.
is. hmm
But we get to that part. I want to talk about that part, but let's get part on
Yeah.
Sunday. Brian Blaney, bro. Brian Blaney wild card his way into the championship four. Very deserving. I didn't think he had it in him to come back from Homestead, finishing in second after that crazy finish to actually come to Martinsville and actually win the race. Not compete, to actually win the race, like in the clutch, bro.
All I'm going to say on that is Mickey Mouse win. Mickey Mouse win.
I
Like, yeah, don't get
mean,
me wrong. What
he's been carrying the Fords all year long, to be honest with
literally,
you.
I think Penske itself, they kicked it off a horrible start to the season. Like, I mean, Ford, I didn't even think was going to get a win until
Yeah.
Brad Keselowski won at Darlington. I didn't think that whatsoever. And then the Fords turned it on. Blaney, I think we really need, I don't know his girlfriend's name, but I really think we need to put her on check because this guy probably abused her last week and then just had the time of his life with her last night.
But man, bro, not even him to see that. Yeah, Joey going into the final four too is like, bro, it's like it's what they want. It's like Penske is like you want to know the issues with the problem with the system that we have today. You can blame the Penske team. You can literally blame them because not good
hmm
all year long, not consistent all year long. But when it comes to the playoffs, it's a whole new ball game because out of the 9 races of the playoffs, they have 3 wins.
Oh, yeah. Mm. I don't. I liked Penske. I liked Penske growing up.
Mm-hmm.
When Brad K and Joey Logano took over as like the leads at Penske,
Bro, I remember when Kurt Busch was on that team. That's how long I've been watching the
I
sport.
Ryan Newman and Kurt
Ryan Newman, yep.
Busch. I love those two. They dominated at the super speedways.
Mm-hmm.
every week. And I remember when Kurt Busch, they didn't want, so I think they picked up Brad Keselowski and they had him in the 12 car. And
Yeah.
then I think Miller Lite wanted Brad Keselowski in the two, the Blue
Yep.
Deuce. And then Kurt Busch was driving that 22 car,
Yep.
which then Eric Almirola had his chance with Penske. And I forget what happened, but there was something there that was, I, it
I
was
don't remember what
something.
happened with that actually. I didn't even know that
Yeah.
he was with that Penske, to be honest with you.
Yeah, he had, I think it was a 1 year deal, and I don't think he just committed to it or something, and he just went downhill. And then all of a sudden he's winning an Xfinity and coming back up through the ranks, you know?
Speaking,
Uh,
you know who was with Penske too that nobody remembers? Justin Allgaier.
who?
Justin Allgaier.
Was he really?
Yeah, he drove the 12 car like the early 2010s. I think he drove for like 2 or 3 years, and then I guess he knew he was not cut on for Cup, and he went back down to Xfinity with JR Motorsports.
Wow, I see. I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
See, you're telling me facts I didn't even know, but that was about the time I got out of the sport. I
yeah.
mean, it was like about that time. So,
I don't even remember because I remember I used to hear the Alto commercial break or the Alto mobile thing that was off of
yeah,
NASCAR. I only remember because of that. Like that's how I remember Justin Allgaier. Like I remember the name, but I didn't know like too much about it. And I was like, wait, he
yeah.
drove for Penske? I was like, wow, that's crazy.
I know he drove for, I think it was Phoenix Racing or something like that. I can't remember what it was. It was the team after Bush, Kurt Busch left the
Hmm.
22 car with Penske. He went and drove that 51, which was also a Hendrick car at the
Yep,
time.
at the time. Yep. Him and Allgaier and Bush did that, yeah, for 1 year. I remember that, yes.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that big time.
I thought Kerr was only gonna get back to the to the big boys at that time, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
no, he went to Chip, and then him going to Chip actually was good for his career. Kind of like revived his career a lot.
I would say when he went to Stuart Haas, that
Stuart
revived
Haas,
it.
yes, I remember
Yes,
that. Yes, Stuart
he
Haas, yes.
he won that race at Martinsville, and I think he ruined Brad Keselowski's day.
Yep.
And then he won, I think, a couple more races that year, and then he won a 500 in the Stewart Haas
Hmm.
car. That was insane to
The
me. But yeah, like,
41.
and then I feel like he calmed down a lot around that time as well, hanging out with Tony Stewart, in my opinion, and Harvick. And then he had that shot with Chip Ganassi,
Hmm.
and I think he took and excelled as a veteran.
Yeah, yeah. I saw a different whole Kurt Busch when I started watching the sport again. I was like, is this the Kurt Busch that I know, or the Kurt Busch I remember growing up? Like,
This is Kurt Busch now. What the hell? He's nice. He's nice. What?
yeah, I was like, what? Like, he has a personality since when?
Oh, man.
But
What memories.
going back to Sunday, man. Like, I didn't even think that manufactured manipulation would be a thing until this past Sunday. I get it on the super speedways. Yes, you have to push your manufacturer, but at Martinsville, like you're blocking for your manufacturer. I never heard that a day in my life until this past Sunday.
Yeah, no, I've heard of team manipulation, with
Yeah.
2013 Spingate. Like I've brought
Hmm.
that
Yep.
up
Yep.
multiple times. But at
Milwaukee
the end of the
Racing.
day,
Hmm.
it, the I don't even know what actually happened. I don't know if you saw the replay, but so not the replay, but after the race during the post race press conference, Ryan Blaney was like, "So what happened after the race?" Because there was cheering, there was booing. I don't know what's going on. Somebody literally had to explain what was going on to him. But
Yeah, again, you're taking the fun out of this man's win. Like it's kind of like for me, I find it annoying because this man literally came in the clutch to win the race, and then what's going on
mhm.
after the race? Like everybody's like trying to figure out what in the world is going on here. And then I'm hearing the comms. This is why I like to hear the NASCAR not the broadcaster. I like hearing the radio side sometimes. I like to
Yeah,
listen to the spotters because you would catch something like that. But the fact that supposedly the 23 had a tire issue, big tire issue, towards the end of the race. Yeah, that's definitely something going on around there. And the same thing with the 1 and the 3. Apparently NASCAR might want to check everybody's radio, not just those three drivers. You want to check everybody's radio towards the end of the
mhm.
race because
It,
that is a wild way to go out.
which another thing, I think NASCAR kind of manipulated that for Bell. And I feel like Chevy was doing that to get back at NASCAR just
Of
because
course.
why the hell were they filming Bubba Wallace at the end of the race when you remember when he was walking down the front stretch? They
Yeah.
filmed him going down the front stretch. What did Bubba Wallace do to get filmed?
That's what I'm saying. Like,
But I mean, they go back and I mean, he was playing it. He was acting good with it. He's like swerving into the turns and everything, acted like his tires flat and everything.
yep.
And Martinsville, love it. It needs lights. We need another night race here at Martinsville because that exposed Christopher Bell. You could see the glowing of his brakes as he's passing Bubba Wallace. Then he hits the wall, and then the brakes are off, and he floors him
I still
past.
envy Will for going there, man. I'm
uh,
going next year, by the way. That is my plan to go for the cutoff race.
mm, that sounds like fun. I want to do it next year. I mean, I was cooking hot dogs at home trying to get the enjoyment, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I heard
And
about that. All those that they're still selling for $2. I'm like, I guess that's the only track that still sells cheap hot dogs because every sporting event is expensive, bro. You can't even buy food.
no, that's why I'm glad NASCAR you can bring in your own beer
Yep.
because
Bring
beer
in
is
your own beer
expensive.
and food.
Yeah, except unless it's Nashville, because there's something wrong with Nashville's area where you can't bring in alcohol to a sporting event. Yes,
Don't
you
they
could
drink
only.
like crazy though in Nashville? Come on, bro.
Yes, it did make no sense because and Nashville's owned, I think, by NASCAR, I believe, or the other one, I can't remember. One of the two. And basically, what's going on with Nashville, you can only bring in unsealed bottles of water, so gallon jugs, little
Wow.
tiny bottles. Yeah, it
I
made
mean,
no
I
sense.
have my gallon, but yeah, I was there. So yeah,
Hmm.
yeah.
So what a wild race. This manipulation, it changes the outlook. The guys that were the only person that deserves to be in that final four right now that I think 100% deserves it is Blaney.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, yes, don't get me wrong. They went, those guys went in there, they won it. Logano won off strategy. Reddick raced his ass off to get in there at Homestead. I mean, those two deserve it. Don't get me wrong. But at the end of the day, those guys that are in that eight that got eliminated would make a way more entertaining. I mean, the list, I forget, I think it was Convis that posted this. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his last name. It was the list of like stats. And then Denny Hamlin said, "Can you post the same stats for the guys who got eliminated?" And Larson's, he's first in every stat except for like top tens. I think he was like sixth or something.
That's why I would have loved to see him to win that race, bro, because it would have been the icing would have been sweet. The number one seed making it. It's like again, I just feel again, yes, I would love to see him in the final four. At the same time, after what happened at Vegas, after what happened at Homestead, it's the biggest reason why he did not make the championship four. You gotta be consistent in this round, especially going into next year in the round of eight. You got his worst track of all time is in the round of eight.
Yeah. I
I
mean, he
just
did
feel
good this year.
NASCAR is doing this NASCAR is doing this because they want storylines, bro. They think they're WWE, and I'm seeing that. That's just why the system is not going away. They're not changing the system. They're not going to change the winner you get in. So they just want drama. That's what they're looking for. They got the drama. They want people to be talking about this every single day.
And that takes the legitimacy out of our sport.
Yep.
It 100% does. The fact that the guy that won six races this year is leading our point standings for the year, not Winston style. This is however they do the points now. Without the playoffs, he's still number one right now.
Yep.
Still number one. Most races won all year, leading every stat, and he can't even make the championship
I'm
four.
glad they don't have the Winston era because Chase Elliott would have been leading by 13 points, by the way. I
Uh-huh.
don't know how, but you know.
I mean, he has been really consistent this year. I'm not gonna lie. Like he's not up front battling for wins, but he's been decently consistent. I will give him
Bulls,
credit.
the same person that said about the same thing about the whole stat line with the guy, Denny
Hmm.
Hamlin, was the same one that said about if we were to have the old time era before that so basically second place means more than first place. That's what he was trying. I remember he got that. I gotta find it, but I remember he did say that. So
Hmm.
that's how I don't like make up your mind, Danny. I know you're illuminated again. That's another thing too, bro. Your time is ticking on your career. You're 43 years
Oh
old.
yeah, and we don't even know if he's probably going to be in the sport the next couple of years.
Yep.
We, I mean, he might have to take out of an ownership role depending on what happens on Friday because they might make the ruling Friday for the last court thing because they didn't make a decision today. They'll make it
If
Friday.
you lose Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace and front row, NASCAR's done. Like I can't take you serious. I can't take you serious.
I think the way NASCAR makes everything right, for my opinion, with everything that happened last night, with the, I would say, take Byron out for the Chevy manipulation.
Yep.
I would keep Bell out because he still rode the wall. Put back the next guy in, which would be Larson.
Yep.
But Will said today something cool. Fuck it, championship 8.
Yeah.
That would be a hell of a storyline.
Yeah. Put everybody in, basically.
Yeah,
Bro,
or
that would be crazy. Put in Denny one more. You give Denny another chance, and he actually takes advantage of that chance and get in and win.
that right there, that's your storyline too. Dude was doing, I would say, decent during the playoffs. He started like an old man walking out to get his paper in the morning at the round of 12.
Yep.
It's just that's what I would like to see, or just say fuck it, screw
I
that,
just
put
feel
the
like
last
system.
guy.
Go ahead, go ahead.
So I'd say put the last guy in the playoffs just in general. So
Yep.
fuck it, bring Harrison Burton up there,
Yep.
give him a shot.
Yep. Just give
Fuck
all
it,
16 drivers at this rate a chance,
yeah, and then bring back the chase, like I've been saying. Oh,
I mean, it's gonna be interesting all season, bro. Like, I can't believe we're almost here, man. Like, I mean, honestly, bro, I'm glad it's here. I'm glad it's almost done
mhm.
because too much stuff happened this season. You
Oh
got
my,
three close races that literally happened in two cup races and one Xfinity race. You
yes.
had the win you get in drama.
Hmm.
You got drivers taking out one, not one, but two drivers to win the race at the last
Mm,
turn.
yeah, it has been a wild season. My heart when Larson got that lead, which that I'm gonna be honest was a bullshit call by NASCAR, is when
Yeah, I
Kyle
didn't
Busch
think he
lost that
deserved
tire.
it. I don't think he deserved the lead there.
No, I mean technically yes. In the rule book, it states the leader has to fire off the restart zone first. Larson fired off right after and made it to the scoring line, which
Mm-hmm.
was the start finish line. They should have called off the restart.
Yep.
There's no way no official saw that.
Do
And
they? So they, again, they want to create storylines. Do you want the driver to hit a tire? What if it would have been one of the playoff drivers? What if one of the playoff drivers would have hit the tire? Like,
yeah, and now that you're saying that, I'm seeing all this because NASCAR is always the first one. Like, oh, hey, look, somebody spun on the
button,
background. Yeah,
button, button.
button, 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 button. But then, oh yeah, screw it, we ain't waving it off. They can hit that tire. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. If it got down low, they could have raced around that thing. It wouldn't have had no deal. But at the end of it, I would say Martinsville was the best short track race this year.
Yeah,
I think Bristol in the spring might be number one just due to the tire drama, but I think they perfected the tire at Martinsville. It's not going to be an old school race back in
yep.
Martinsville from back in the late 2000s. It's not. It's not going to be that, but it's good for the product right now.
The
It
tire
really
wear
is.
the last couple of weeks has been insane, bro. I
Yeah.
haven't heard no complaints because Joey Logano played that system like a fiddle in the first race. Second race, Tyler Reddick was on two last old tires and still made it work. I mean, technically, if you want to go that route, he didn't. He only had to pit because he had to put gas on the last stint. Because if
Yep.
he didn't had to put gas, he was still 8 seconds off the leaders that already had pitted.
Yep. And I mean, even yesterday too, you saw the way Chase Elliott was closing in on
Mm-hmm.
Larson, and then it evened out. And then I feel like Larson was getting into traffic because Bubba was racing Larson real hard
Yep.
to try to stay on the lead lap.
Yep.
That was another thing. But then he let Elliott go right by. Like, what the hell, Bubba? Come on.
Yeah,
What are you
I
doing?
thought you're friends with both of them. What's going on here? Like,
Yeah. But I mean, that's also probably part of the manipulation part you got to look at because
yep.
maybe, hey, you got to hold Larson up so Bell can stay on.
That's what I was thinking about it too. Now he hold
Mhm.
Larson up because he wanted a belt to stay on there. You're right about that. Yes, yes,
I think that's another thing. But I mean, hey, it worked out in the end. I mean, Christopher Bell got that position back and shot it through the wall. Chevy manipulated a race. My mind's blown. But anyways, we've talked enough about that. Who's your pick for next weekend? If
I'm
it
going
stays the
with
way it is.
I'm going with the reigning, defending, undisputed NASCAR champion Ryan Blaney is going to repeat.
Repeat. When's the last time somebody's repeated?
It's been a long time since Jimmy, since the Chase era.
Oh my God, it's really been that long.
Yeah, the last time
Wow.
when Jimmy actually won the fifth title, when Jimmy won the fifth title, when he won like those 5 years altogether, that was the
Hmm.
last time that happened.
Wow. You know what? Now I want to go for Blaney, but I'm still not. I'm going to go with Tyler Reddick.
That's my second
Tyler.
thing. I'll be happy with either of those two taking the championship because
Mhm.
if Reddick wins the championship, it's like the big FU to NASCAR.
Oh yeah.
That's
Oh
the
yeah.
first thing I'm thinking of.
And Michael Jordan's taking that check and he's going to lap all the way to the bank.
Yep,
Like, well, this is going to fund my cars for next year.
yep,
I mean, but yeah, at the end of it, I mean, Logano might be the upset guy. It is an
yep.
even year. I mean, he's played the system well, like you said, all year. And we can't blame the system because it's not the system's fault. NASCAR made the system.
Hmm.
These guys are taking advantage of the system.
Yep.
And, and I don't think Byron's going to show up next week. I'm not
Nah,
even going to lie to you.
nah.
Just like last year.
He's been
I
looking. The thing is that he hasn't looked good all year long. Like when he got the
mm-hmm,
third win, yes, he's getting top tens, but like you're barely in the top 10. You haven't won a stage race. You haven't won a stage. I don't know how long he hasn't won a stage.
mm-hmm.
It came back to bite him, and he got lucky because again the manipulation again.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Well, so Byron won the 500. He won Coda. What was the other race he won? I
Um,
can't remember.
what did he win? That is a good question. I think it was a mile and a half.
Was it? It
Um,
wasn't Iowa because that was Blaney.
nope, that was not. I got you right now. Look, I'm a stack fact. I'm a fact checker. I forgot
Yeah,
too. I'm not
because
gonna lie.
I did. I was trying to think about it earlier. I could not remember.
Where the hell is it? Nah, Martinsville,
Oh yeah, the spring
the
Martinsville
spring race. Yep,
when they were wearing
the
the ruby
red.
collars. Yeah, the red.
Yeah, they came. I think Hendrick came one, two, and three.
Yeah, and where was Bowman in that? Somewhere in the back of the pack.
I think it was finished in the top 10. Actually, I'm not mistaken. He
I
did
think it
fin-
was like. I
eighth,
think he was like
eighth.
eighth. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
about to say
eighth.
eighth. I mean,
Yeah,
Hendrick did good.
Bubba went round. That's another thing. I did know where you come from with the chase thing because Bubba would have made the playoffs
Hmm.
because Bubba had a very consistent season, just didn't have that win.
Yeah, he didn't have that win, but guess who edged him out? Harrison Burton.
Burton.
Harrison Burton of all people, just pointing
Yeah,
you out, pointing it out, man. I love it. I love it. I love NASCAR's system. It does bring a lot of entertainment. It
it
really
does.
does.
I still can't
It.
believe I got to see Harrison Burton win a walk off race like that, and like literally in person. Like,
Oh yeah, and Chevy was. That's another thing we got to look at. Chevy was also manipulating that race too, telling him not to push Burton.
oh yeah,
Did they?
Ratzlaff was getting chewed out like left and right.
Oh
Never
yeah,
seen again another Cup car.
and also Larson Spotter said the same thing to him at Talladega to not push Brad Keselowski to the win
Yep.
because Ricky Stenhouse was right there. But either way, I mean, Brad Keselowski should have went up to get in front of the 47. He probably would have won the race, but that's just me going back in the past.
Yep. I was just like, if he didn't push Brad there, he would have wrecked. That was the only thing I was worried about. I just wanted him to finish that race.
Oh yeah, we will find out come Wednesday if there is anything. And if there is anything and they do a championship eight, I'm going to say Larson all day,
All
but
day.
I have to at that point. I
It's
literally
like
have
I
to.
said like round of eight, like don't give this man another life with Joey Logano. I'm
Mhm.
gonna say the same thing with Carl Larson. If he's dead, make sure he's dead. Because if you bring him
Oh,
back to life for Phoenix, he's going to win the whole thing.
oh yeah. But unless they do something stupid like they did last year. Larson was doing so good in the spring race at Phoenix, and I'm like, they need to bring that car back.
Yep.
He didn't have well, they went overtime, and Byron had the better car.
Yep.
And they go to Phoenix, and they're like, oh yeah, they brought the Las Vegas win car here. Why would you do that? Bring the Phoenix car from the spring.
Exactly.
Uh, Sorry,
But
as you can tell, we're both frustrated about this weekend.
I'm super frustrated, bro. Like I am super frustrated. Like it's like I don't know, man. It's like I don't know what else to think anymore. Like this, like it's we're at the end, so they're trying to create more drama. I'm not surprised that there'll be more drama at the end of the race
Mhm.
next week.
There will be. Hell, Chevy might block everybody to let Byron win. I mean, if Byron wins, cool, but I'm going to call that a Mickey Mouse championship. I'm not even going to lie. I
I mean, it'll
think
be
this.
funny though. It'll be funny to see it because if he wins the championship, it's gonna look at Alex Bowman like, when is your time?
Yeah, they're all going to be standing there like that episode of Family Guy where Chris, Peter, and Lewis are on the couch and all dressed
You
fancy,
think you're
and then
better than me?
yes, oh, just keep that seat warm for Justin Haley, buddy.
Yep, exactly. And then I mean Penske, they're not gonna give up on Cindric. I mean, he's still young.
Oh my
Pat,
gosh,
he's
he
gotten
showed.
better though. He's gotten so much better though.
I've been telling everybody when he won that Daytona 500. I mean, in the new car at that point in time, we did not know how the car was going to perform.
Yep.
We didn't know it was going to be as unpredictable on super speedways
Hmm.
as it has been. But he has showed so much potential coming these past few years, like 3, 4 years in this next gen car.
Yep.
I think sooner or later, he is going to be a dominant force in the sport
Yep.
because everybody's about the same age. Everybody's going to probably retire around the same time too.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's him and all these young guys that are in there now. It's going to be their time to shine.
Can't wait for that Graxton Cindric eventually. We're gonna have that Graxton Cindric battle.
Oh my gosh. Throw Ty Gibbs in there too.
I forgot
Oh
about
my
Ty Gibbs.
gosh.
Yep, Ty Gibbs. Yep.
He's doing real good too. But I
Todd
think
Gilliland
he's,
too.
oh yeah, I think they're all slipping under the radar right now,
Yep.
to be honest. They're doing what they need to do every week. They're getting in, they're getting good finishes, they're
Hmm.
being trying to be more consistent.
Exactly.
I can't wait. Future's going to be promising.
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for the future, that's for sure. But anyways, guys, there's gonna be all for this week. This week, we're gonna give you guys next week we're gonna give you guys the finale. You know, the whole results and the whole enchilada. And how do you want to break down the schedule with me for next season?
I would love to break down the schedule for you for
Because
next
I've been,
season.
I've been waiting all that. I wanted to say it, but I was like, gonna wait till the end of the season because it's much better. But I know
Oh
everybody does it
yeah.
differently.
Oh yeah, everybody does it differently. So I'm all for it.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
here for the ride now.
Let's see what happens on. Well, we can also talk about the court date. See what happened at court on Friday too. That's gonna be.
Yeah, Michael Jordan's going to go in with a cigar. I think if they win the court case, guess what? Guess what? It'll be like winning the championship to Jordan. I think so.
Mhm.
And Reddick wins on Sunday.
The
Perfect.
icing of the sweet. Yep.
Hmm.
Anyways, guys, like, subscribe, do what y'all gotta do. You already know we're out the building. Peace.